Okay, welcome to AeroPower AMS Data Entry System version 1.3. In this little video, we're just going to go quickly through some of the new features in version 1.3 and some tips and tricks that will hopefully make your data entry tasks a little bit easier. First thing we're going to look at is go straight into in-flight. You'll already know how to do the import task. We're just going to there, and here you'll see the select client, line, task, create new, and disable GPS options. These haven't changed, so you'll be familiar with these. The difference between continue and create is create you should do the first time you get a new task. You should always create a new one. If you just continue a task from the day before or the current day, you just hit continue to continue that task you're currently working on. In this situation, I'm just going to continue because I don't want to create a new task. Now, I don't have a GPS plugged in, so I'm just going to disable the GPS. That just allows me to work on the desktop computer here without looking for a GPS signal. So I'm just going to hit continue. Okay, once in-flight mode comes up, you'll notice there's been quite a speed improvement in 1.3. It should come up pretty well straight away now. Over on the side here, you'll see the photo queue, and you'll see the photos in there. One thing we have added here is the ability to double tap on a photo, and that'll bring it up full screen for a full screen preview for you, so you don't need to drag it to the magnifying glass, although you still can if you prefer to. You can also drag to the bin, and that will ask you, do you really want to delete it, or no, I don't want to delete it, or you can cancel. Cancel's the same as no. I don't want to delete that, so I'll hit no on that. Over here we've got our tools section, so I'll just go through the options in here so you can quickly see what they are. You've got the lat long display here and your current bearing. That comes straight from the GPS. One thing you can do here also is click on the lat and your GPS status will come up, and it will tell you your current bearing, latitude, some information about the GPS and how good the quality is. So it's a good idea to check this once in a while to see that it's all okay. And the GPS is working properly. Okay, we've also got the map selection. You can change your map type there if you prefer to, or just select none if you've got bad reception. You can work on server in cache, server only, or cache only. Server in cache is probably your best option for most situations. Manual positioning allows you to disconnect the GPS link between the current position of the helicopter and the GPS. You click on that, and then you can click on the map, and then your helicopter will go straight to that particular point. By default, that's turned off. It also allows you to reposition the markers. Say, for instance, I've got a defect here, but I don't really want it to be there. I can click manual positioning, and I can click that marker and drag it around and put it to where I think it should go. And that'll move. Another thing you might notice now is that you can see a little line between the actual asset and the defect. You can see the blue line there. That just shows us that that particular defect is on that asset. It's a clear visual of that to make it a bit easier to know what you've been looking at. I'm just going to turn manual positioning mode off so I don't accidentally drag defects around. I'm just going to close that. Normally you wouldn't have to move a defect. The only time you might need to, if you're a bit slow at adding a defect and the helicopter's flown away from the asset, you might want to reposition it back towards the asset, or on some patrols you may be asked to place the marker actually on where the defect is. Like if it's mid-span, you'd drag the marker to a mid-span position. Okay, so what we're going to do now is zoom in a bit, and we're going to start this patrol. So you can zoom in a bit there, and get my helicopter pilot to start flying as close to the line. And as you can see, another little thing we've added is the trail. So you can actually see the trail from the helicopter now and where it's been. That should help you orientate yourselves a little bit easier. That only shows it for the current session. If I close this window and come back in, that trail will vanish and start off again from this particular session. The reason we've done that is for memory reasons. While the system does record your full track to the hard drive, only the current session is displayed on where you've been. Okay, and as you can see, as we fly up the structures, this is what comes up. Now, there's a couple of ways of putting photos on a structure. I'll just show you a couple. I'll just get the cameraman and take a few more photos so we can assign a few at once. Okay, so we've got a few photos coming in now from the camera. As you know, they appear there automatically as the photos are taken. So the helicopter's moving along, and what happens here is that we're on this particular structure. I want to assign a photo to that structure. All I do is drag and drop it. Now, in some situations, that may be all you need to do, is just to, if you've just been told to do a photo run, you might just be told just to drag and drop the photo straight to the structure. And all I do is drag it to this area here. And now I've got the red box around, I can quickly see which asset that's going to be added to. So I click on the next asset, drag the photo straight to the structure number here, or the asset number, and it's added. And I go to and coming up to the next one, just drag the photo, and it's added. And that might be all I need to do, depending on the type of patrol. But that makes it really quick to add photos to defects, to assets. Sorry. Okay. If I wanted to add a more detailed defect, I'll get my cameraman to take a few more photos because we're out of photos again. All I do is click on the asset and I click on the add button here. This is slightly changed now. When you hit add, you don't have to click on main component anymore. It will come straight up with the main components list. And I can select here what I want the hardware condition and then the priority, which you're probably pretty used to. And once I do that, it's ready to go. It's showing me where where the defect's going to appear, which is usually on the point of the helicopter. And I still can cancel at this point. If I cancel at this point, no defect will be added. If I hit save, that current defect will be saved. If I move to another asset, it will be auto-saved to stop you losing data by accident. Now, if I drag a photo to the actual defect and I drop the photo in this particular spot to add it to the current defect, remember if I drag the photo to here, it would just add it to the asset and automatically add it with the hardware condition, the priority set is edit defect for review later. But I want to add it here because I want to add it to this defect I've added. And when I do that, it auto saves. So it's actually saved now as well. So that defect is saved. If I want to delete a saved defect, I can click on the priority and select delete, and that'll delete it. Before I delete that though, I want to actually put this photo back in the photo queue. As you can see, when you actually click on a photo, you get these options: view, details, return to photo queue, and delete. View just brings up a full screen image of the actual photo. Details brings up the details of the photo. And return to photo queue puts it back in the queue. So then I can say, oh, this defect was all wrong, delete it. Yes, it was supposed to be on this structure down here. Then I can re-add it. And drag the photo back to it. And we're all done. And now helicopter moves along. And then we can go up to this next structure up here, and we can add another defect here. And put that as a priority one. I'm just picking any random thing here, so don't worry about that. I'm not too familiar with these particular defect hardware main component types, so that photo probably doesn't match up to these. We're just giving a quick demonstration of how this works. Alright, and as you can see, that's pretty much it. Hopefully it'll make your data entry tasks a lot easier to handle. Some of the new features that are in this version, which you may not be familiar with. Now that when you click on an asset, you'll see that the asset highlights with a red square, and the defect comes up with an orange square around it. So if I click on that one, you'll see that the red square comes up. If I click on the defect, it goes straight to that particular defect for editing. Plus it also highlights the asset that defect is attached to, and you can also tell that by the blue line as well. And you can see this defect here is assigned to this asset down here. This makes it easier to reference where defects are. Back at the ground review screen, which we'll go to now by going to ground review to create a package to send back to head office. We have made a change there as well, which should make reporting urgent defects or priority 1 defects a lot easier. All you need to do is click on your test line, click create package, and you'll see a list of priorities come up. If I select all, that'll create a normal package with all defects of all priorities in there, but I can actually select I don't want to do a package with priority 1s in it. If I click on that, it'll create a package for priority 1s and the corresponding photos. So all I need to do then is zip up the package and the photos folder and send that back to head office, or process it as required. But you won't have to go hunting for the photos manually anymore because it will do it automatically for you for that particular priority.